Can you read this one?
I was not meant to be born a woman. I'm a giver, not a receiver. I hate my entire anatomy being the receiver. I want the power of deciding when to have children. I want the power of loving like a man. I want the power of picking when to get married. I hate being a woman. Forced to wait and hope and dream while men decide when to love. They decide whether or not they want to be your boyfriend, while I sit there, shit out of luck, hoping to be noticed. I hate being a woman. I was right about wanting to be a boy. My heart is so masculine. I don't know how it fits into this body.
Pull it up one more time. I'm sorry. I got to reference a couple things here. Okay, so just keep it pulled up. Actually.
Anyways.
So you're a giver. So like you like to peg guys? Is that what you're saying? No. Have you pegged a dude?
No.
Okay, just checking. You hate your entire anatomy being the receiver.
Yes.
Wait, so do you have like sexual hang-ups on this front?
No, it's not in that way at all.
Like you don't like sex or?
No, it's not in a sexual way at all. It's more so relationship dynamics.
I totally get what you're saying. And actually that goes along with Carl Jung's theory of, he theorized that every female body system had a male soul and vice versa.
All right, pull it back up, please.
And I think
right.
Masculine. You could say masculine and feminine.
Okay.
It's an energy thing.
the reason this whole idea of a gendered soul, I think that's what drew me to that.
Let me just read these line by line and we'll go through it. Okay. You want the power of deciding when to have children. But so women hold all the power on that front. So
Men give you the children.
What's that?
Men give you the children, in my opinion.
Well, you need a man to have children, but
yes.
You have, as a woman, you could go out with the intention of getting a sperm donor, like this lady over here. You could go on a tear, just to have a bunch of one-night stands and get knocked up. As a man, it's a little more difficult to I want to have, you could tonight or the next month. I don't know. It depends on your cycle, whatever the fuck. You could get pregnant this month if you wanted to.
I guess.
Do you think as a guy I could be yo, I'm trying to get a bitch pregnant that's going to have the kid?
Oh, these narcissistic ones will. They'll get you pregnant. That was probably his next move.
Okay, just let her talk, please. So I'm a little confused here. Women have all the power when it comes to this.
That was written emotionally.
Okay.
I was just frustrated.
Okay. All right. The power of love. So next line, I want the power of loving like a man. What does that mean?
Being the initiator. When you go out on dates, it's them who decides, do I want her as my girlfriend? It's not you. Do I want to chase her? Do I want to take her out again?
Well, this is kind of a mutual thing, right?
Yeah.
It can.
I've been on plenty. I've been on plenty of first dates where I wanted to continue seeing the girl.
Yeah.
And she wasn't feeling it. So it's not like this weird thing where as a guy, every single girl you go on a first date with, you get to make the determining factor of she's going to be my girlfriend.
Yeah. It's situational.
Maybe it's a little lack of experience too. If you're kind of just starting to get out there and date, and you had that one bad experience that took up a lot of time, plus the healing from that.
Yeah. Let's pull it back up.
It's like a 5-year
Hey,
process,
being a woman,
perhaps,
I want the power of picking when to get married. Forced to wait and hope and dream while men decide when to love. So who's forcing you to not approach guys at the club?
I guess that goes back to me wanting the chase and being the more dominant one,
But you, by your own admission, you don't. How is it not socially acceptable?
Apparently, I don't know. I'm just following what...
She just hasn't been able to find mates, so she's just assuming that what she's doing isn't working.
I'm just following what the women around me
Do you think if you go to a nightclub and you go up to a guy...
Don't follow it.
If you go out to a nightclub and you go up to a guy who you think is attractive, which you admit to have never done, and you just...
One time.
Say,
but not at the club.
Hey, what's up? Are you single? Blah, 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 whatever. You think the lights are going to turn on and the music's going to stop. Everybody's going to do an about look.
No.
and just be like, whoa, I can't believe a woman has dared to approach a man. Like, do you think that's what's going to happen? Or do you think nobody in the club is going to even notice or give a fuck? Nobody in the club is going to care. So explain to me how it's not socially acceptable.
I guess that's just the impression that I've gotten from guys.
But you said you take on a more masculine role,
Yeah.
and you like to be the initiator.
That's
you like to be the
why,
chaser,
yeah.
but you don't.
Not
The
at
masculine thing
club.
is to say, F what society tells me, I'm going to do this anyways. So are you really masculine?
I mean, no, but in some ways, yeah. Like, I am the initiator, and I do like a chase.
In fact, I'd be prepared to say that it's way more, at least now, it's actually way more risky for men to approach women than the reverse. If I approach some girl in Trader Joe's and I like creep her out or whatever, that's fucking gnarly.
I mean,
but if you're
that's
some
true,
chick and
yeah.
you go up to a dude in Trader Joe's, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
No, it's not the people around you. It's the guy. It can come across as
Yeah.
desperate, or
I think
she
when
just
you're
wants to
really
hook up.
beautiful too, you almost kind of got to downplay your looks because guys aren't used to being approached, and then it's a pretty woman doing it, and then it's a little like, at least I am very forward with guys. Brian knows this. I'm just like, if I want you, I'm gonna go tell you I want you. But they almost like have this freeze response, like deer in a headlight. Like they don't really know, and then a lot of them like miss. I'm still trying to give them an opportunity to like the number exchange or whatever, but I kind of am as forward as possible, and then they fumble it so many times. So then I'm like, I don't know if they could handle me if they're fumbling. Like I'm just trying to get your number,
Yeah.
or I'm trying to tell you you could have my number if you wanted. I like talking to you or whatever, you know.
Nothing
I don't
applies to you, though, because you're crazy. Like, they just detect you're fucking crazy.
Well,
so
I
it
know.
doesn't
I'm
even
on
work.
that scale. I'm like the
Actually, no,
the
there's-
hot crazy scale.
Well, actually,
okay.
guys are so
It's a thing.
desperate.
No, you took a nosedive off of that scale. That scale doesn't even exist in your paradigm.
Well,
You're in
I
like the
guess.
Baba Booey mentally ill should be locked up in an asylum style scale.
Well,
You're
that's why
way
I work
off
at
the
home.
regular Richter scale.
That's why I work at home, so I don't have to be out there menacing society.
You're living in a prison of your own invention. Like there's
I mean,
a prison
yeah,
for your
I'm
mind.
just-
Nobody is forcing you. Like
No,
and it
you're
sounds like
right.
you're desirous of taking on the more masculine role of being the initiator, being the chaser.
I mean, I agree.
But there's
with
like
you.
there's a contradiction here. On one hand, you say that, but you also said you're very you don't approach men
Not at clubs.
or bars or in person or at Trader Joe's.
That one time. No, I'm just going off of my experiences so far and the impressions that I've had received.
Okay, pull up the tweet again. I guess I'll get through the rest. They decide whether or not they want to be your boyfriend. While I sit there shit out of luck, hoping to be noticed. Well, so like, are women owed relationships?
No, I think God decides what relationship you have in the end, if you have one. I don't think I'm owed one. I would like one. I've always wanted something normal. But
Okay.
no, I don't think anyone is owed
All right.
anything.
We'll try to get through all these.
I have a question. You just said that God decides if you have a relationship or not, but
I
in that
believe.
same tweet, in that same tweet, you say that men decide.
Yeah. I think that's more so like my own experiences. They have decided whether or not they wanted to be my boyfriend, whereas I had already liked them.
Well, it follows with a patriarchal society because essentially in the hierarchy, God would have the closest connection and accountability. Like it would be God, man, woman, children, and then like earth and animals, right? So it does follow that you trusting God is actually you trusting God through a man
Yeah,
to
exactly.
approach you and be like a soulmate or the right match for you,
Exactly.
essentially.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
in this societal construct. That's why, in a sense, I just kind of live a non-traditional life, because this patriarchal society has kind of canceled me from being able to, you know, not that it would never be possible, but I have always thought of myself as damaged goods because I wasn't raised by a good dad. My dad raised me to be a worker. So I felt like as soon as I went that path,